People ask my final thoughts on Nakatani versus Vasily Lomachenko. I tell them honestly, I don't know. But if Lomachenko wins, I will be impressed. But I told them if it goes to the scorecards, Nakatani is going to lose. And people ask me, why do I say that? And I tell them because I understand the politics of boxing. I understand who's more marketable as a champion and who's not marketable as a champion. These elements exist in boxing, whether people want to pay attention or admit them or not. But they say, yeah, but why do you say that? If you given the history of Vasily Lomachenko and given his overhypeness, that's really what Vasily Lomachenko became a victim of, is being overhyped. And at some point in time, he started to feed into that. I don't know how much of those compliments I could resist if I was put in that position, but I would definitely have more mental fortitude than most people out there. But those compliments started to go to his head and he started to feed into it. It is what people call believing your own hype, you know, and you know how ESPN went out of their way to present Lomachenko as something greater than what he was. To add on top of that, let's not forget the infamous ESPN erasing Vasily Lomachenko's loss, not just once, but twice. Now, the reason why I say that is because, well, let me just play this for you.
Weight division, the challenger from Osaka, Japan, Masayoshi Nakatani. The challenger from Osaka, Japan.
Now, did you hear that? Nakatani is not a challenger. Vasily Lomachenko is the challenger. So tell me, do you think that's a mistake? They seem to make a lot of mistakes when it comes to Vasily Lomachenko. His boxing record, introducing people as challengers when they're really the champion. Didn't Nakatani beat Felix Vandale? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. For the WBO vacant belt. Not to add to mention, if you look at Vasily Lomachenko's record, it's filled with vacant belts. You know, people who wasn't really champions. But I'm going to digress on that. This is not to take away from Lomachenko. Regardless of how many compliments I give him, if I say anything negative about him, people will claim this is a hate video, but we all know those are fanboys. But why is Nakatani being introduced as a challenger? He's not a challenger. He's holding a strap, which Vasily Lomachenko is going for. So when you ask me, why do I think if it goes to the scorecards, Nakatani will lose? It's one of the prime examples right here, you know, and I woke up to this. Introducing the champion as a challenger when Vasily Lomachenko is coming off of a loss. Yet the Japanese fighter is the challenger to somebody who has currently taken a loss. So do you think if this fight goes all 12 rounds, which I don't think it should, that Nakatani will get the nod over Vasily Lomachenko? No, because they desperately want to make and keep Vasily Lomachenko as a champion. They want him to be a champion again. Once again, you have to understand the politics of boxing, why they want somebody like Vasily Lomachenko to be a champion. Vasily Lomachenko is caught up in the web of things that goes on into boxing that most of you boxing fans either ignore or don't care to acknowledge. Okay? It's called established order and how they want things to go. I'm not going to dive deep into it because I dove deep into it too many times for you guys to act like you don't know what I'm talking about and need me to spell and write and break down everything. You know what this is. But this is why I say if it goes to the scorecards, Nakatani will lose. Now, I think Nakatani can and will beat Vasily Lomachenko, just given the fact of how he struggled with Luke Campbell. And he said Luke Campbell was his toughest fight to date. And Nakatani's a better fighter than Luke Campbell. He's tougher than Luke Campbell. And I watched Lomachenko struggle with that reach. For Lomachenko to do anything he wants to do, he has to be able to get in on the inside. And like I said before, when I did the breakdown of Vasily Lomachenko fighting Teofimo Lopez, I told you guys before, once you cut off Vasily Lomachenko's sidestep, that right sidestep, he becomes a ordinary fighter. He depends on that sidestep so much. Okay? This is something that what's his name? Gervonta Davis fought him. What is his name? I can't think of it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the one guy that I seen utilize that in the game plan. He was cutting off Vasily Lomachenko's Pedraza. He was cutting off Vasily Lomachenko's sidestep, and in the end, that's where you get the image today of Vasily Lomachenko looking so beat up. That was from him cutting off the sidestep. To add on top of that, Vasily Lomachenko's defense is not all that. But nonetheless, if Vasily Lomachenko beats him, and I'm not talking about a scorecard. I'm talking about, since some people say that Vasily Lomachenko will knock Nakatani out. I don't see that at all. I see Nakatani knocking him out. But if he happens to win in that damn fashion, tip my hat to him, bro. Tip my hat to him. Don't deny people's credit, man. I'm a firm believer in that. If he can do that, I'm putting Vasily Lomachenko right back up there. You know, he already gets my nod for taking this fight. Because if I was his handler, I'd be like, no, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this over here. But I think Vasily Lomachenko wants to get a belt back up under his waist. I think he feels naked without that. He was working his whole life for that, and it was just took for him. So I get why he's rushing into this fight like this. But he don't looks confident. But it will be a sight to see him overcome that reach advantage. And Nakatani ain't no punk. And Nakatani can get knocked down. He knows now that he can get up and still win a fight. That's confidence in a fight that can only be gained while you're in a fight through experience. And he got that now. So he knows he can get up off the canvas and still put out a win. It's a dangerous opponent for Vasily Lomachenko. I give him credit for taking it. But if it goes to the scorecards, you already know what it is. Bruce Banner, I'm out.